Hello, Cadre. So if you caught my video yesterday, I showed you I had a few new to me things. Gonna use those today. So one is the Vector. I've done videos with a Vector before, but this is now my Vector. We'll talk about that in a second. I'll get my face all lathered up here. Got a new soap company to me. So this will be the first time I've ever used this stuff. It's from Murphy and McNeil. I'll look at, you can read what the name is. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that. It's got bergamot, lemon, some lavender, some patchouli. So I know it's tough when scents, you know, of course that's like 1/4 of the scent notes if you look on their website. I would say the bergamot is strong. I get mostly, let's say the patchouli and whatever the base notes, it's that way. It's a citrus on the top end with a little earthiness on the bottom. Not a lot of earthiness. A nice, not a sharp citrus, but kind of a earthy citrus. I like it. I like it. So the reason that I picked this up, there's a few guys that I've seen use Murphy and McNeil soaps, and of course anytime I see a soap brand I haven't heard of or don't remember what I found when I looked it up, I'll go look it up again. Oh yeah, this stuff smells good. Happy with this purchase. It reminds me actually a lot, and so this is the bergamot coming through, which can have a nice black tea note to it. This is reminds me a lot of Storybook Soapworks Visions and Revisions, their tea scent, which is weird. So the reason that I got this soap, also the blade in here, just put one of these dudes in. I grabbed the wrong thing. All right, we'll try it out. So this is Feather Pro. Woo, this is up at the big boys. I use the Feather Pro guards in my RX single edge. I meant to grab the Schick Pro line. Meant to grab these. You can see they both come in, maybe that's plastic. They both have nice heavy metal tops though. This one's all metal. This is what I meant to use. I saw the metal here. Grab this because here you can see the Pro Guard is all plastic, no metal anywhere. So when I saw the metal here, I thought, oh, there's my Schicks. Which, the Schick, best blade for this thing. Best by far. So we'll try this out. So, what was I saying? Oh, the soap in the description said it was fashioned off of Creed Viking. And I know Creed Adventus is the one that's, what do you want to say, most popular, their flagship, the one that everybody rips off. I stopped at a Creed boutique once, about a year ago, maybe 2. Sniffed around quite a bit. I was not enamored with the Creed Aventus, which is good because that stuff is, they're all expensive, but Creed Viking I really liked. I do not recall Creed Viking having a tea note to it. Knowing my tastes in scents and things, I think it was a peppery type of a note that I probably really like. This one has a pepper note to it in the description, but that's not, I'm not getting a lot of the pepper. Anyway, I got this, I got the aftershave splash. I did not get their cologne. I'm gonna add a touch more water to this. So again, this is the first time I'm using this, so I didn't want to blow past the water band and make it all soupy. And I'm going to evaluate the slickness after the second pass. But I think you could see you can get a nice thick lather out of this stuff, which is good because then you can just thin it out to whatever you want to use. Look, oh, look at this. This is isn't this a camera pretty lather? Look at that, nice and thick, and look how thick that is on that side. So I'd say it lathers easily, and I wouldn't say it has a narrow water band because we just went from thick to a little thinner and it's still fine. And I'm thinking I'm finding what I found. I think I tried this one, the Feather Pro, in this before, and it's fine. I think it's going to be fine, which is good. And maybe I'll make it a little bit more interesting, because my comment on this razor was, it's cheating. Because it's so good, and it's so easy to use. And we've been through this before, so that's entirely what kind of shave experience you want. And I ended up getting one because sometimes you've been doing a couple straight shaves and you don't want to have to think about it, or your skin's been a little irritated from whatever you've been doing with the last few shaves, and you just want a nice, mild, but super effective shave. And this would be it. They did a pass around with one of these. I think probably 3/4 of the people that tried it got one. I think for just that reason. Once you get the blade that you like dialed in, and for most people it was that Schick. So okay, now hold on, let's check this out. That's nice and slippery. I certainly wouldn't hesitate actually grabbing that razor and doing my third pass just on residual slickness. So, good performing soap, I would say. Would not hesitate to buy or continue to buy or use Murphy and McNeil soaps. Good stuff. I don't know a lot of their history. Like I said, I just look it up when I see people using this stuff, and I think this is one where they're not that easy to get. I could be wrong. This one I got, this particular scent, I got put on their email list, and got an email saying it was coming out. We're actually on vacation that day, but I hopped online and got the soap and the splash. But later in the day, and they were sold out of a couple things. So they've got two versions of this. The black version, no menthol. I can't use menthol. They've got a version that's gold and white that's got menthol in it. So it's pretty cool. They do that also for the splash. You can get it menthol and non-menthol. And then you'd have to look on their website. It's the splash or the cologne you can get in a no alcohol version if you need it shipped to places where they can't ship alcohol, or I guess if you just don't, if you prefer not having alcohol on your face. Anyway, saying is, with the right blade, this you don't think about it. You get, a lot of people get, including myself, a super BBS shave. With the Pro in it, you have to think a little bit, which is fine, and it's not quite as smooth as the Schick, but it's certainly got a lot left. I'm doing this, what is normally the cleanup pass. You probably can't hear, but normally there's a little, guys. Yes, I know. And people bug me because I love the RX. My go-to razor. I like it. It looks gorgeous. It's heavy. I don't like, this is a narrow little thing. The handle's kind of skinny. But I love the RX, and they were teasing me about, well, geez, this is, no, what are you gonna do? Here's this amazing razor, but you like the RX, what do you? And so I held off on buying it, I found a used one, so that helps. But also, there's something to be said for putting some effort into your shave. Sometimes. Like I said, there are times, no, this is ridiculous. I got super close, so I'm pushing it even more. This is one of those shaves where you're gonna be like, not even dolphin smooth, there's like a glass level where it's like, you got a little bit of water on your face, and it just feels smooth, and we're there. There's nothing left. So I was laughing, because a lot of times there'll be a little something here, and it'll dry down to a BBS, and if I want to push it, I can actually, get rid of that. I went to do that. There's no noise because there's nothing left. So, amazing, amazing shaver. Not as pretty as some razors. Takes a little bit of the sport out of the shave for me because that's it. You just do it, and it's perfect. But certainly is a time and a place you can appreciate having a super shave and no irritation, and can sit here and chat about the soap and stuff like that, and not be distracted. If you're a little bit distracted with the RX, you're going to be lit up with the alum. So let's check this out. We'll see how this does. All right, nothing on the cheeks. What do you think? Are we going to be able to go? All right, so we got a little stinging here, but for a super close, super smooth BBS. Like after this, you take a super smooth, slippery BBS and then dry that down. Whew, these are the kind of shaves where you really wouldn't have to shave the next morning if you didn't want to. I'm gonna, I'm gonna, but, so there you go. Yes, I bought the Vector. Yeah, you guys can tease me about holding off and doing it anyway. I would like to say I'm not going to get rid of the RX. I don't have plans to right now. Like I said, I could see using this one. So here's where it's come down to for a single edge razor. The RX is pretty much all there is for me. I do have a Razor Rock Hawk version 2. I'll show that to you for a second because for some reason that's been hanging out on my counter. And usually it's razors like that don't have a home back there on the shelves. And once I stick a blade in it, I don't want to throw it in a drawer or something. So hold on, let me rinse off the alum. Don't worry. If you thought you just heard an earthquake, the pounding, no, one of the kids. All right, where did my bottle keeps moving farther back? Pow! There's lemon. What? Oh man, we've got a little extra. Got a little extra of the lemon today. That's okay. Goes with the bergamot, the lemon notes. So I said I'd show you. I haven't seen the RX. Oop. The dust off that. So this is the Rockwell. No, sorry, not the RX. This is the Hawk. Seen the RX a ton. Cool. I mentioned before I like black razors. Like the looks of this one, but it's light. And it's not nearly as efficient as the RX. I think this is the first SE that I ever used, and going from DE to SE, this seemed awesome. Gave great close shave, seemed very efficient, but the RX is like another level. So I very, very rarely will pick this one up. It's just for variety's sake at this point. Whereas DEs, you can see we use a lot of different DEs over the days, but SE is pretty much just the RX. So now we got this guy that is going to be in the rotation, probably heavier than the RX. But there's going to be those days where it's like, let's I don't know, throw a little bit of adventure into the shave. mix it up a little bit, put some effort into it. I grab the RX. Who knows? These ain't cheap razors. So just out of common sense, that would be the reason I would get rid of it, is having two really expensive SE razors. Doesn't make much sense. There you go. We just did the 2-in-1. Just the tiniest thing, so it's weird. I don't know what they did, but somehow the geometry of this thing is just works with a lot of people's faces and gives you an amazing shave super close. So, like this soap, great performance. The only thing, the label's a little weird. It's a little bit long, so they stuck this black label on the plastic, and then you can kind of catch the edge there. That's a nitpicky kind of thing. I like the bottle that the splash came in, a little bit of details in the glass, and just a screw top. So I like that. So I'll use that after I get all cleaned up. And there we go. So, hope you enjoyed the reviews. I was gonna say, I might, like I said, this is very close to Storybook Visions and Revisions. The aftershaves are very different. This one is a milky aftershave that I think is probably a little bit better skin food than what's here. And I'm trying to think though, if they're similar, which one would you get? I have to use them back to back. I think the Visions and Revisions has a stronger pepper note to me than this. This is more of the citrus side. Visions and Revisions is a little bit more of the peppery side, so that's a good comparison. They're both outstanding performing soaps. Storybook has a great residual slickness. If I'm remembering correctly, this one might be, you might be able to get a little bit of a thicker, heavier lather, so if you like that type of lather, go with this. Otherwise, pepper, more citrus, couldn't go wrong with either one. See you on the forums.